Hey, what is up? Today we're going to be going over some FRELJORD cards for the upcoming set in Legends of Runeterra. Now, FRELJORD is probably my second favorite region, only to my bay Noxus, because you know you girl like gold smart. That's why we got that red hair, you know? We like the gold smart. But I actually think these cards are going to help you on your smart battle plan, especially with a Sejuani aggro. So let's get into that. First off, we have our new keyword, Behold, that has bonus if you have a type of card in play or hand. Now, in these situations, for these cards, the Behold is if you have an 8+ card cost either in your hand or in play, which gives us a lot of very powerful options in FRELJORD, such as Tusk Raider, such as Trundle, which may actually become meta again, other than just War Mother memes, which, again, War Mother, meta, let's go, let's go. It's definitely going to be other than this release, there's been definitely a trend in more mid-range control cards, so if you're super hyper aggro, you may not get as much as what you want. But one thing I would like to point out that does have the Behold synergy in FRELJORD is running a Battle Fury, which is the 8-cost Trundle spell that is Burst Grant Ally +8 +4, which I can just think of so many options to make my opponents so mad when I'm just going in with Sejuani. They think they're gonna survive, and then I'm like, no, we're gonna go overwhelm with 8 damage. So I actually really like that. Again, I also do like Tusk Raider, so I feel like this condition does suit FRELJORD well because they do have multiple 8 and up cards that are powerful, especially for your long game control. So it's definitely going to be interesting how this goes. Given the aesthetic of the trolls, they telling us that we are going to go and get Trundle tomorrow, which is the Troll King character of the League of Legends universe. I don't know too much about them, but Runeterra is basically introducing to me all these champions that I would not have known otherwise in the League universe. Anyways, getting on to the cards themselves. First is a Faces of the Old Ones. Round start. If you behold an 8+ unit cost card, get an extra mana gem this round. I don't know, it's a little underwhelming. It will work in control decks. It's personally not for me. I feel like, especially for War Mothers, it will run some synergy with that to just be able to get that off earlier, especially if you are running a bunch of these high cost, 8-cost cards. So I feel like this will work in control metas, which could possibly work. So I'm sort of iffy on this card. I'm probably not going to use it myself just because that's not really the type of player I am. But we'll see how it goes. Again, it could help with the War Mothers, and we may just say a War Mothers meta. You heard it here, folks. Next is Troll Scavenger. A 2-cost 1/3 when I'm summoned. If you behold an 8+ cost card, grant me +3/+0. I think this is a little conditional. Of course, a 2-cost 4/3 is good. I just feel it reminds me of more Shadow Isles. I don't really feel like I'm going to use it that much. It's going to be like definitely for aggro, very conditional if you are running these Behold decks, and it is good to have these lower costs. But I feel like if you don't have the 8+ card, then you just get a 1/3 for 2. So it's gonna be really hard, especially in your early game, to think, oh yeah, I want a mulligan for Troll Scavenger. I can feel it being more of a later game card. It feels better, but the chance that you're gonna want a mulligan into an 8-drop when you don't already have your 1, 2, 3, 4 is pretty slim, so I feel like that condition does make it a little weaker. So if it's just a vanilla 1-3 without the big holes, doesn't really feel like a. Again, we still don't know the other cards for FRELJORD that are coming out, most likely tomorrow with Trundle. So we'll see if there's anything else that could really balance that out. Next is Troll Ravager. It is a 4 cost, a 3/5. When I'm summoned, if you behold an 8+ cost unit, grant me regeneration. Now, I think this is a great. I feel like regeneration is so powerful, and self-heal, drain, life gain is just so powerful, even though I say heal is cheat all the time. I feel like this is a great option for maybe where you would have had your Braum slot before. Obviously, it doesn't feel as well, but you do have at least a stat that you could go and just chump in. So I feel like this is especially really good for control stalling. So even if you don't, if it's not going to be something that you're going to go into phase, you can just use it to chump block and get delay your opponent's advances, since there isn't a lot, especially early game, things that are going to kill it, and if there are going to damage it, then your opponent's going to be forced to use damage spell to it, which is basically just diluting their own resources that could have been put towards either your face damage or a more bigger unit that's more important for your end game. So I feel like it's going to be a good card. I like it a lot more than the previous card so far. So overall, pretty good. Next up, we have the 8 cost Erzgar the Agent. This one doesn't have Behold simply because it is a condition for Behold, which is a 7/7 with regeneration, and it has Challenger. This is crazy good. This, of course, would be most likely ran of as a 2 or 3 of in these Behold decks. Challenger is so. The fact that it's both Challenger and regeneration is crazy good. I do feel like the cost is adequate at 8. If I saw it at 7 or 6, I don't feel like that would be great. But I feel like all the other cards in this Behold package does balance it out. So by the time you get there, your opponent would have time to take the game or not by board control. So because it's not like it has Overwhelm. There are ways to chump it or get rid of it by just spot removal, but I feel like it's a really cool card. I am definitely going to be using it and trying on this FRELJORD journey. Next up is Troll Chant. Give an ally plus O +2, and give an enemy +2 +O. Okay, I feel like this is especially really good for overwhelming units such as Sejuani, or if you are going to get another one in its typical Sejuani Ash deck. I feel like components of these cards are going to work very, very well in those decks, especially for example the Troll Ravager with a Tusk Rider and an Ash and like a Sejuani deck. That I love Tusk Rider and Sejuani so much, and I feel like those will synergize very well with Troll Chant. I of course love that it is burst, like a lot of things in FRELJORD, which I mean, when I'm playing against it, it doesn't feel too good, but when I'm using it, it does mean that I am able to counter some of my opponent's buffs, as well as make a more favorable base damage or overwhelm damage to them. So I like that card a lot. It's pretty cheap, it's only 2, so I feel like that's fairly fair. Next is Call of the Wind. Burst, of course, it's FRELJORD, who knows? For top 4 cards in your deck, draw each Yeti, Poro, Elnuk, and then shuffle the rest into your deck. I like this. I like this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but for the memes, for the content, it's gonna be beautiful. I like it. especially for card draw, the fact that Yetis are so good, and you probably are going to be running so many Yetis and trolls in your deck, and Elnuk, it will be, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get more Elnuk support by this card name, so that's going to be really interesting if those are going to be more of a meta than just a meme. So I feel like this is really, really cheap card draw if you are running these like Elnuk Poro decks that I feel like could maybe bring it to maybe a B tier even. Honestly, I just want to make Poros meta. Poros are amazing. I want to see them. So I feel like this card is really, really good. It's in theory. In practice, it's either gonna be a meme or really, really good. But I am hoping it's the latter personally, because the after I read over this card a second time, I'm just getting more and more excited for what could potentially come out of this. And also makes me think about what sort of abilities and that Trundle will have. I'm assuming he's probably going to be an ACOS, but now that I think about it, we already have Trimidair as a FRELJORD champion that's an ACOS, so maybe he's going to actually have the Behold ability on him, rather. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the set, as well as your predictions on what we're going to get for Trundle down here. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out my Twitch streams, and I really appreciate it. We're going to be doing some more spoiler analysis and review for the next sets for Legend of Runeterra, so thanks for watching!